Pat, I think you and I, by the way, we're going to be next week in San Jose area, Santa Clara, wherever Marvell is. And we're going to be getting their update. Now, this is a company, Pat, that was really, really crushing it through the pandemic. And then all of a sudden, as some of the kind of legacy semiconductor areas like, communication started to fall, industrial it started to fall, traditional networking, they really kind of saw a somewhat sizable downturn. Well, guess what? Marvell is back. Pat, show the picture.
I'm getting it. Yep.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for you to pull it up so I can look at another eye-watering cliff.
Eye-watering cliff that you and I cannot participate in.
We do not participate in. But look, we can talk about all the different parts of this business. This is very straightforward. This company is one of two in the world right now that is meaningfully enabling the design and build of XPUs, or what we all like to affectionately call custom AI chips. They've been talking for a number of years about cloud optimized silicon. This was what they were talking about. Now, an announcement this week about a partnership with AWS was out there. If you want to speculate, of course, they never really fully say who's making chips for who, but if you heard about, maybe there were some new chips that Amazon announced, or future chips, as well as current new ones that are going into high volume and being utilized by Amazon. There's one called Trainium. I think it would be a fairly safe bet that there's an influence and some sort of alignment with the company that we're talking about called Marvell. And this is really, really exciting. So you look over the course of a year, how has Marvell basically found its way back? Its core businesses of 2 years ago haven't found their way back. But what they've been able to do through accelerated data infrastructure and cloud optimized silicon is basically double revenue in a year in their data center end market by being one of two companies able to provide the key support for all these hyperscalers. And by the way, other companies interested in building homegrown silicon. And this is a trend that's only going to continue more into the future. So you saw them go from 556 million in this same quarter 1 year ago to 1.1 billion in revenue in the same space. Now, we've heard the numbers from Broadcom in the area of $10 billion a year of custom AI silicon, 10 to 12 silicon and networking. Well, in some ways, you can kind of think of Marvell in many ways as a mini Broadcom. And I know they wouldn't necessarily appreciate that exact vernacular, but I look at it more as the opportunity. So you look at all the hyperscalers, all the demand for custom silicon, and it's not just AI chips. It can be network offload. It can be all these other important chips that you're hearing these cloud providers build that are used to enable them to build their own infrastructure. Marvell is going to be aligned in a lot of areas for connectivity and, of course, for compute. So, Pat, I know there's a lot of other numbers in there, but that's my read on this. This was all about that data center number, and it looks really good. The AWS partnership, very promising.
Yeah, not a ton more to add. What I'm going to do is try and simplify this when it comes to the AI. They operate merchant, of course, but increasingly this custom. And think of Amazon and Microsoft, and think of Marvell as driving that forward. And by the way, it's XPUs, but it's also custom networking and custom security. I believe that the Microsoft announcement last 2 weeks ago had a Marvell custom HSM chip, in addition to them being behind Maya and possibly Cobalt. On AWS, yeah, Trainium 2. Think about in the future, 50% of the new CPUs coming into AWS are Graviton. Imagine if 50% of the new AI acceleration across training and inference are going to be Trainium. And by the way, I don't think there's going to be a new Inferentia. For those who are counting, Trainium 1 was also Inferentia 2. We did not hear an Inferentia 3 come out. I do believe that they're going to be focusing in on one chip. But imagine if 50% of that went to Marvell. And there was a press release right before reInvent that talked about the continuation, the lengthening, the strengthening of the strategic collaboration between the two companies. I think I'll end this just by saying I think the best is yet to come with the company. And there's two companies who can do what they do: Broadcom and Marvell. Right? That's it. It's much better to have two competitors in a gigantic market and a growing market than having 10.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely right. And like I said, these are another kind of, as I said with Synopsys, another really interesting periphery play. But they're not in peripheral, just a really interesting play on AI.